Boom! What is going on, everybody? And before I start, Kentucky do the stout. It's cold enough to where a stout would work. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all. Welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at another one from a local brewery of mine. If you haven't heard me talk about them before, Church Street does a lot of really cool things. If you saw me do another review on their stuff, I reviewed a stout from them. It was fantastic. They have a lot of things they do when it comes to very traditional ways sometimes of how they make their beers. Of course, their can art's really cool, how they kind of make it like that stained glassy kind of look when it comes to their can art. But today we got a very, very traditional style of beer for you guys today. They decided to come out and create a Bock, which is definitely an old time German style beer where they use pretty much mostly all ingredients are German ingredients, to where you're using German malts, German wheats, all the kind of for all the mash, you're using German ingredients, all that kind of stuff. For the hops, you're hardly using German or original hop, originated hops. So when you try to get this kind of style of beer and it says Bock style, they may not have used German originated kind of ingredients, but they used ingredients and they kind of went off the style of how to make this kind of beer. This is a type of beer that I'm not really too accustomed to. I've had a few. I'm starting to have a few more of them, and the more I drink them, and the more I'm enjoying them. Have a good amount of sweetness to them. There's like a nice breadiness that kind of adds into there. It's a darker beer. It's has that kind of almost amber kind of color. But yeah, they're nice. They're kind of I really like the bready sweetness for them. The flavors of the malts really, really do come through really heavily on these style of beers, and I absolutely enjoy it. So, of course, you've heard me talk about it from Church Street. We got the Bishop Bock this afternoon. It's a 7% ABV, which is, in my opinion, easily sessionable. For me, it's just, I could have a few of these and be perfectly fine. But, yeah, I'm pretty damn excited. I'm expecting I'm hoping some nice, malty kind of sweetness coming through. Maybe notes of, caramel or toffee coming through a little bit. But, of course, the breadiness is going to be nice and predominant. Not really expecting, a bubbly or effervescent mouthfeel. Sometimes when I have a Bock, I get almost a velvety kind of mouthfeel. It's weird, but there's maybe a slight creaminess just because of they're letting the expression of those flavors from the malts just speak really heavily to you. So I'm really, really excited. So I'm ready to crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about. Evil Twin. Oh yeah, Evil Twin's gonna be good. A biscotti break. Whew. That sounds pretty awesome, Kentucky. Let's see what this guy smells like. Oh yeah, yep. Of course, getting that nice malty, bready sweetness up on the nose, just like I expected. Almost getting kind of a little bit of a caramel kind of note added in there. It's really, really nice. This is a style of beer that I've come to really, really enjoy. It's a sweeter style. I wouldn't say it's but when it comes to a darker style of beer, it's definitely on the realm of being a little bit sweeter. So if you don't like dark beers and you kind of want them a little bit sweeter, a good start that I would suggest is start working your way through the Bock style of beer, because the malts really come forward a lot more. The sweetness comes through a lot more. You get notes of, like I said, coffee, toffee, caramel, all that kind of stuff. And today, I'm going to be drinking this out of my untapped tulip glass. And let's see how this pours. Oh yeah, it has a nice golden, almost amber color to it. Almost has the color of an Oktoberfest, like a Marzahn. But yeah, it has a nice, almost tannish kind of head to it. Really fluffy, soft. But yeah, that looks absolutely delicious if I say so myself. Nice, almost golden reddish color to it. Yeah, still getting a lot of those heavy malty sweetness flavors coming through. Oh yeah, that's just that smells pretty damn delicious. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers everybody. Happy Sunday. Oh yeah. Nice kind of, definitely has a really heavy body to it. You get a nice sweetness. Of course, you kind of get a white bready kind of note, which is pretty common in this kind of style of beer. Of course, the German malts have a nice sweetness, but it's not overly too sweet to where you're getting crazy notes of caramel and toffee. You get the slight sweetness from the malt, but then you kind of get this German inspired bitterness from maybe a German style hop they have in there, to where you get the upfront sweetness, but then there's notes of the bitterness or the hoppiness that adds pretty much to any beer practically, to just washes it away, makes it balanced, make it smooth, has a nice kind of velvety mouthfeel like I wanted it. Yeah, this is pretty damn delicious. Oh yeah, that is good. That is very, very good. So let's look here on Untapped and let's see if we can get a description of this guy. Of course, before I talk about the description, all the ratings, all that stuff, let's see what breweries that they consider similar or similar beers. So we got one from Bullfrog Creek Brewing Co. with their Bullfrog Bock, which is where these guys located out of. So if you're anywhere near Bullfrog, which they're in Florida, might be able to get something similar there. To be honest, all of these beers would probably be a good similarity, just because when somebody makes a Bock, they're kind of trying to stick with those traditional styles and all that kind of stuff. So they're pretty much, I don't want to say they're all going to taste the same, but they're going to have some very similar characteristics when it comes to flavor. And of course, we got the Brewocracy with their Dunkelspeak, which is a Dunkel's kind of like a similar style of beer this one is. And then we got one from Aspro Brews called the Bockibe. It's a weird name. But Aspro Brews is in where are they out of? So they're in the Netherlands. But what else do we got here? So Burning Beard Brewing Company has their bourbon barrel aged chromatic Fantasia, which is a barrel aged Bock. Ooh. So that sounds pretty fantastic. But the horn, let's see, we got another one from a Tooth and Nail Brewing Company called the Horde Badger Grand Cru, which is a 16. Okay, so they aged theirs for 16 months in red wine barrels. That seems interesting. I wonder how that would be. But yeah, it looks like people are making their own kind of swing to it. To be honest, I'd probably go with this one from Bullfrog. The Bullfrog Bock is definitely going to be that more traditional kind of style. Probably have that more, I don't want to say simplistic taste, but they're not really going really heavily into like making it overcomplicated. No, like you had one where it was a bourbon barrel aged. You had one that was aged in wine barrels. They just wanted to come out with a pretty run-of-the-mill Bock style beer, and this one tastes just exactly like one of those, so I would expect that other one that I suggested would probably be pretty similar, the Bullfrog, yeah. But let's look here on tap and let's see the ratings on here, and then we'll read the description of what they have for you. So, like I said, 7% ABV, and this one doesn't really have a lot of check-ins. This only has 72 ratings on Untapped, and for their average ratings, it's averaged out to a 3.62 out of 5, which is pretty good. Pretty damn good. I definitely rate it more than a 3.62 on my end, at least, because I think it's pretty delicious. So let's see. Church Street is proud to brew one of the most traditional and historical beer styles, simply known as Bock. This malty brew is richer in flavor and a bit more alcohol than a Dunkel, which remains very drinkable. Initially brewed in the North German town of Enbeck, and to be reinvented in Munich after the 30-year war, Bock beer is now being brewed exactly to style here, pretty much at Church Street, using German malt and brewing techniques included decanting and mashing Prost. I don't know what the hell that means. I haven't done any of those processes, but yeah. So they're taking the process of making old German style beers and kind of being able to put them out in the northwest suburbs of Illinois, which I think is really damn cool. So yeah, Kentucky, a bourbon barrel aged Bock does sound pretty damn good. Kind of would add like a little bit of element of like smokiness and booziness to something that's more of like a little bit more of a sweeter beer to begin with. But yeah, that'd be pretty solid. But with this one, they didn't try to overcomplicate it. They just wanted a nice Bock style beer, and they did. They absolutely nailed it on this one, I think. Yeah, it's delicious. So let's see what other people are rating this one. I know there's not that many ratings, but first I like to see if anybody on my friends list checked this one in. And of course, you got my father that's checked this one in. He did a check-in. What was this? October 2nd. So let's see. He gave this a 3.75 out of 5, which I would say is pretty close to what I'm around to give it when it comes to my Untapped check-in. But let's see what other people check this one in. So this guy gave it a 4. Purchased. He's drank it at the Tapster in Lincoln Park, which is like a little. I wonder if Tapster is like maybe like a beer bar in Chicago. Yeah. So this other guy checked it at Tapster, where this gave it a 3.5. This person gave it a 4 at purchase at the Burger Social, which is in Wheaton, Illinois. Let's see. We got another 4.25 purchase at the Burger Social. Another 4 purchase at the Beer Miscuous HW, which is a beer store, beer bar in Highwood. So yeah, seeing a lot of check-ins around the Chicagoland area, which is always nice. And of course, you have one right here that gave it a 3.5, purchased at Church Street themselves. So if you want to get your hands on this stuff, of course, they're only really distributed within the U.S., well, within the state of Illinois. Let's see. They have a list of the distributors, so you can get their stuff within states of, let's see, Illinois, of course, Florida, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri, around that area, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So if you're within any of those states, you might be able to get your hands on this one from Church Street. Or you can just go over to the brewery right now if you want and go pick it up from them, because this beer is on tap at the brewery right now. Of course, you can get some stuff from Church Street. Also, you can try some stuff for Energy City, which they're in the same building, which is pretty cool. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this guy. Let me pour the rest of it in the glass. And let's look at can art. Yeah, I always really enjoy what I see from Church Street when it comes to can art. They kind of have that same style for the outline, but the picture slash mural that they always put in the center is always different. It's always colorful, and it's always kind of bizarre, which I like. So with this one, you have like a goat, almost like a billy goat with a monocle and a nice goatee and all that stuff, wearing like a suit and all that kind of stuff. But it has that old stained glass kind of style of artwork, which I always appreciate. The colors are nice. The bizarre artwork always catches my attention for sure. And of course, you have the Bishop Bock on the side and that on the top, and then you have the Church Street kind of thing they always do on the side. So yeah, really, really solid can art. This would definitely catch my attention at a liquor store or bottle shop, just for the weird billy goat on it, to be honest. It's just pretty funny. So I give it a solid 4 out of 5 for can art. Really, really cool. But let's start figuring it out. Let's see. If I got this in a flight at Church Street, would I get another one? To be honest, most likely. Yeah, if I was looking for just a nice kind of steadier beer, if I wasn't in the mood for an IPA or a stout or something, I'd probably get another one of these for sure. Definitely has that sessionability kind of thing to where you can drink more than one of these. Flavor's nice, a nice sweetness, nice kind of balance between that bitterness that cuts off the sweetness at the end. Kind of has a nice velvety mouthfeel to me, and it's just overall just very, very solid beer. Very, very solid. I'm starting to enjoy the whole Bock style of beer a lot more. I'm going to try to see if I can get my hands on more of that kind of style of beer, just so I can have different varieties for you guys to try, of course, instead of it just being sours, stouts, and IPAs, So, I think my final rating on this guy, I'm going to give this a solid, I'm going to give it a nice solid 7.75 out of 10. Really, really good. I definitely would recommend it. If you're interested in a Bock, this would definitely be one I would suggest to you if you want to kind of introduce yourself to a more different style of a sweeter kind of beer. If you're looking for more of a German influence on a style where you want to kind of keep it traditional, if you want to drink something traditional, a Bock style of beer is definitely what I would suggest, and this one from Church Street is right up there for beers I would suggest for that style. So big shout outs to them for coming out with this one. It's absolutely delicious. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you again, everybody, in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing the review. Let's see. I don't think you can find Church Street on Tavour, which I always talk about Tavour if you guys haven't heard me talk about it by now. Kind of where you've been kind of situation. But one thing I'm always going to mention, if you like social media, if you like drinking beers, checking in beers, all that kind of stuff, get yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform. It's available on Android or iPhone or even desktop if you want to use it through the browser. It's just a fun platform. You can check in beers, get badges, they have a bunch of coupon codes for different services they provide when it comes to getting stuff like Tavour. I found out about Tavour through Untapped. They have a merch store where you can buy shirts, glassware, all kinds of stuff. And it's just a really, really cool platform. So if you have an account and you haven't added me as a friend yet, the link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. Make sure to shoot me a friend request. I would love to see what everybody else is drinking. And plus, you can see people like me, Kentucky, Ian. Let's see. I know Duchess is on there. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler. Who else? The Typhon, Sean and Lizzie. Kevin K is on there. So there's a bunch of people on there. So other than that, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. And I'm going to end it like I always end it before we get the hot here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.